Hey guys, it's Jake from Georgia Bassmaster hitting you with another tips and tricks video over one of my probably favorite soft plastic baits. Y'all probably, if you've ever seen any of my fishing videos, you probably already know what it is. It's a Fluke. That's right. Soft plastic jerkbait, and we're going to talk about colors. Just the same thing with every bait and lure. The clearer the water, the brighter your color is. It's just easy. Let's say that water's clear. It's clear as can be. You can see way down. You can see this just so far. Well, I'm going to use a color like this. Specifically, this is a really good shad imitating color for those clear days. It's called albino. It's just albino, not albino shad. That's hard. It's a salty super fluke. That's what it's called. It comes in a 10-pack. When I get the fluke, I like the super fluke because it has a slit in the middle. To me, it increases my hook set ratio and everything like that. It goes way up with that little slit because there's not as much plastic for that rubber to have to slide down on. Whereas with like the kind that are thick all the way through, that rubber has to slide all the way down that worm hook, all that rubber. Here it's honestly probably like less than, like almost close to a millimeter of rubber or soft plastic that it has to slide through. So yeah, that's a good color for clear days. I have this one rigged up because I usually keep one bait rigged up in my soft plastic package. A good mid color would be like this. When the color of the water isn't too dark, it's not completely just blacked out, you can't see, but it's not clear either. It's kind of in the middle, hard to tell. I'll use a color like this. This one is called Mardi Gras. Once again, it's the salty super fluke with the slit in the belly, just like that. It's almost like, reminds me of a watermelon seed with purple and silver flakes. That's really all it is. It just gives off a little flash. This one imitates more of a bluegill pattern to me, it seems like. I fish tons of ponds and tons of lakes. And, sometimes you'll get into a pond where those fish are just eating shad. That's like that's like the one minnow that they eat. And then I'll throw colors like this. Some brighter colors or like maybe just some shad imitating colors, almost like this one. And then I'll go to a pond where if it's a no shad pond or the shad population is limited because they've already eaten it or something like that, I'll throw a bluegill imitating color pattern or whatever you want to call it. And a lot of people overlook like how much the bass eat the bluegill. The bluegill is, if not the same, greater than how much they eat, oops, my bad, I don't know what I'm doing, than how much they eat shad. You go on like Strike King or Rapala's under Bass Pro or Tackle Warehouse and look at their baits. Well, 99% of them are all shad. There's no bluegill ones, and people just overlook it. They're focused on the shad because, like honestly in pond fishing, usually 90% of the ponds don't have a great shad population, not at all. And they'll feed on those bluegill just like they do shad. So, those baby bluegill. So I'll use colors like these that imitate bluegill. This one is a green pumpkin, salty super fluke, the one that has the slit in the belly. Favorite fluke. This one's tail has been actually. If you don't know how to fix the tail, like if it's like bent up or something, take it, heat up, like take a pot and put it over the stove on like medium high and just let it heat up for a second, and take your fluke and put it in there for, if it's bent up like way up here, then maybe 10 minutes, but if it's just like down here in this thin part, maybe give it 5 minutes. And then pull it out, and you can just usually bend it with your fingers maybe if it's really, really hot, like it was bent up here or something, you know, y'all should go to, I might not be describing this the best, go to Fluke Master's channel, Google, search him up on YouTube, Fluke Master. He has, just Google fluke fishing with Fluke Master. It's, I mean, his YouTube name is Fluke Master. He knows everything about flukes. You know, he's like a really good fluke fisherman. That's how I learned all my stuff from him. So just search him up. He teaches you how to fix the tail by boiling it and then just bending it with your fingers and letting it, you know, like, I guess, thaw out. Yeah, so green pumpkin, good color for dark water. Mardi Gras, good color for those in-between days. And then your albino, good color for those real clear water days. And even I'll use Mardi Gras on clear water and watermelon seed on clear water days too if they're feeding on bluegill that day. So yeah, guys, and then as far as hooks go, 3/0 wide gap offset worm hook. It's just the best. You know, I've already got one rigged right here. That's how it looks in a fluke. I'll bring it close so y'all can see the hook. It's probably hard. Guys, that's it. Just a hook just like that. And those fish come up and you're popping it and you're jerking it. I'll teach you the cadence in a minute, like how to work them. And that fish comes up behind and he hammers it. Boom. Well, that hook is easily exposed. It just slides down simple. Like, look at here. It's just, it slides so simple. I don't want to tear the plastic right now. I'll let the fish do that for me. But yeah, guys, just a little 3/0 wide gap offset worm hook. This is just for pond fishing. If you're going on a lake, yeah, buy the Magnum fluke, the one that's like 6 inches, the one that's a little bit longer. And then you can go to 5/0 worm hook. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. Yeah, so there's the hook. If you're gonna fish it weighted, don't go above like 3/16. That's my top. And the only reason I'll fish at 3/16 if those fish are really, you know, just tired and lazy and they don't want to move. That way that bait is on the bottom and it'll just stay there. If you're fishing it weightless, chances are it's going to be up and look like it's swimming and stuff like that. But if you fish it weighted, it'll just look like it's kind of flopping around on the bottom and it's dead almost. So yeah, so here's 3/16 ounce, that's my maximum. My bottom is like one like this. This is a 132 ounce bullet weight. Like, I'll fish that sometimes. Just like, I'll fish a weightless going top water, like 1 foot. The 1/16 and 1/8 ounce will get me down about 3 to 5 feet. And then I'll throw on like I mean, you can use a 1/8 ounce on the bottom and just let it come up, and then you're going to have to let it sink for a minute. And then the 3/16 if I really want to keep it like all the way down to the bottom, like 10 plus. Yeah, guys, cadence, I'll throw a fluke. You can throw it on a bait caster or on a spinning rod. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, cadence. Usually, so it's not just called a fluke. It's actually called a soft plastic jerkbait. Soft plastic jerkbait. Yeah, jerkbait. Yeah, it's gotta sound good like that. Of course, fishing is like that. Y'all know how it is. So it's a jerkbait. So, well, wouldn't you work it like a jerkbait? Yeah. You don't really, I mean, you can swim it. It's not very common though. You know, usually people think the best cadence for a fluke is jerk, jerk, pause. Jerk, jerk, pause. Jerk, jerk, pause. And just do that. Honestly, sometimes I'll pop it like 9 to 10 times real fast and get it skipping up across the top of the water and then just drop it and let it slowly sink weightless or with that 131, I don't know what it is, just one of those really tiny bullet weights. Y'all probably can't even see it. I'm not going to bother bringing it closer because it's just pointless. So just those real tiny pops, get it skipping up across the top of the water and then just slowly let it sink. Those bass will hear that thing skipping across the water and they'll chase it, and then all of a sudden it stops and it sinks right in front of their face and they'll just boom, hammer it. That's 99% of the time how I'm going to catch them when they're real active. And I'll throw that through, you know, if I'm out in the boat on Lake Altoona or Lake Lanier, my home lakes. I'll throw it out in the middle of those fish when they're schooling on the other side of them, and bring it through and skip it, and then just drop it in the middle, and they'll just tear it up like crazy, guys. That's a fun way. Or yeah, just let it sink for a minute, twitch, twitch, pause, or twitch, 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 like 4 or 5 times, and then let it pause. The more you twitch it, the higher up in the water it's gonna come. So if you're twitching it like 7, 8 times, you're probably gonna see maybe like the top of the fluke come up out of the water and make like a little ripple or whatever. Yeah, that works. Like letting it sink down like 5 feet, and then getting it up to the top, and then doing that 5 foot, and then bringing it up, and then like that. That works. Yeah, and then it's the same thing. Like you basically fish a fluke the same you would weightless, and the same you would with a weight. It's the same thing with like worm fishing. You just gotta find your cadence that's right for your fishery. And yeah, guys, that's it. When I throw it like on a bait caster, I'll usually use like 15 to 20 pound braid, and then like a 3 to 4 foot fluorocarbon leader. I use it with braid so that you really get that pop action. You want that. You don't want any stretch in the line. You want to make sure that that fluke darts side to side. You know, you want to make sure when you're working it, it goes boom, boom, instead of like boom, boom with like mono or fluorocarbon or copolymer or whatever. And then on a spinning reel, sometimes I'll just go straight braid and not even bother with a leader. Yeah, guys, so just the regular super fluke with a slit in its belly, 3/0 offset wide gap worm hook. Y'all know how, hopefully by now, if you've watched any of my tips and tricks videos, y'all know how it is with the colors. Yeah, guys, that's it. If you think I missed anything, just drop it in the comments below, or feel free to comment on the video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.